nerding out about?
Dun, dun, dun.
Kurt,
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
you have a problem.
I do.
Share with the group. We got you.
I am deep into my 3D printer, and I've been printing things out because I think I'm going to end up doing a craft fair at some point, selling 3D figures. I may or may not have 5, 10, 15, probably, 15 or so articulated triceratops on the printer right now, printing out. And I lied earlier. I don't give a crap about Christmas cards, but I did need to find out so that I could send you this, Charles.
For our podcast listeners, it is an awesome. What is that called? A facsimile or whatever? Or facsimile?
It's just facsimile. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's one.
So
of Hulk's head, Hulk smash.
If you look, it says Hulk in the forehead.
Oh, it does. I didn't even notice that.
Oh, that's my face.
Yeah,
that's your face.
Like, Charles, look, see
the forehead.
I know you're not used to seeing these things, but these are letters, and this is an H and a U.
I see it now.
Yeah,
that's really cool. I
So
have a really cool
this
background that does the body like that too.
So I'm gonna send that to you.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
But so there's just like, man, I've been printing out so many things, and yes, I did order another 8 reels of filament today because there was a sale.
I'm here to nail you, sir. I'm here.
Is Random Kid right on this? Big Rando? You're 3D printing yourself a robot body for when we can upload our minds to computers?
I would love to. I am definitely a fan of the idea of a robot body. But here's my fear. When they go to upload my consciousness, it'll be a copy of my consciousness, not my actual consciousness. So I'll be aware of my consciousness in my old body, and a copy of me will be in the robot body. It won't be me. So it'll be, come on, man.
This sounds like you've watched a little too much Black Mirror, sir.
Well, I mean, now if they could do a brain transplant into the robot body, then I'm good.
Yeah. I've got a suggestion. As we're working through some logos by the first of the year, we're gonna have a new logo for the show, new intro, those kind of things. But Kurt, I bought this at a Comic-Con, and I thought it was brilliant. And this guy just makes these prints. He actually made the soap from Fight Club, the poster, and it said, so I bought that for Hugh. He's got it, but this is a 3D printed Buddha, but it's Biggie Smalls. I think it'd be brilliant to do a Buddha of each of us.
Yeah, so I got no issue with that, except somebody has to model it. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about sitting for the carving. I'm talking about someone actually physically needs to make the model. And that's really hard.
I don't know if I want to be a version of someone's religious symbol.
Okay, what anime character would you be?
Oh, the Shield Hero. There you go.
You. Okay, no, you have to be Rising Impact. You cannot. You're not the Shield Hero. So there's no way you could go nearly as dark as he went. No.
You don't know me.
Your favorite.
You don't know me.
We've gone down this road. I forget what it is. What's your favorite anime character?
My favorite anime character?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a tough one because there's a bunch that I like. Some of the top ones got to be like Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. He's pretty awesome. Tanjiro is awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Midoriya from My Hero.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be your angry counterpart and try to blow you up.
Right.
Shikamaru from Naruto. I like him quite a bit too. A lot of the characters that I tend to like are ones that think they think strategically. So that's I tend to like those characters a lot better.
Yep. Well, yeah, it's not Inosuke. Inosuke.
Come on.
Yeah,
Inosuke is still the best.
It is rarely the ones that are yelling and running into battle. While I don't have anything against those, they're not in my favorites.
But Kurt,
Right.
Kurt, I do kind of feel like, especially when the Mountain Dew kicks in, Joe is so Zenitsu all day. Just he sees Kelsey, goes, "Oh my God, Kelsey!" And he follows her around. It chases her, and she runs away.
Right.
You know, we go to battle, Kurt. I'm charging in. We can't find him because he's out there sleeping, and he shows up and saves the day. I mean, come on, that's Joe.
No one has experienced the Mountain Dew high like you did when we were going to Chicago.
It was something different.
And I had Twizzlers too. I had Twizzlers, and it was a 12-hour road trip, and I think I drank 2 or 3 20-ounce Mountain Dews, and I ate some Twizzlers. So yeah, I was all hopped up on stuff.
Did you drink the Mountain Dews through the Twizzlers?
No, they weren't red vines. You
Red
can't drink
vines
them
are
through
red
Twizzlers.
vines. No. Red vines are the ones that are not hollow. Twizzlers are hollow.
You got that flipped around. Yes, you do. You 100% do.
Nerds. Oh my God. This guy's so nerdy so fast.
You go ahead and Google it. The red vines are the ones that are hollow, not the Twizzlers.
I feel like a man right now. I think I need to do some sports ball and dip. I don't. This is making me feel like a jock.
Okay. Well, what are you nerding out about, Charles?
No, you're next in the list, my friend.
All right, fine. So I put down Young Sheldon. The final season dropped on Max recently, and so my wife and I watched through that, and they did a really good job of wrapping everything up. And they left it on a really, really high emotional couple of episodes. And then I think they're doing a spin-off of Young Sheldon now. Instead of focusing on Sheldon, it's going to focus on his older brother. So, but...
Oh, is that the George and Mandy one?
Yeah. George and Mandy's first marriage or something like that.
Yeah, that's starting soon if it hasn't started already.
But yeah, so yeah, we've been waiting for it to pop onto Max so that we could watch the final season, and so it dropped, and we binge watched that this last week. It was really good. It was very good.
I've only seen a couple episodes, and they did seem to be pretty good. But
well,
I'll add it to my list.
Well, and it's one of those things that most people are going to know within the first couple of episodes if this is for them. If you don't like it in the first couple of episodes, you're probably not going to like the series. So, yeah, I like ones where it's like that. Correct. But then again, I also like Steins Gate, where I've told Charles that he has to watch the half of the first season to let it hit its stride.
And I've actually, I'm not hating it. I just haven't found the dubbed version, and maybe I didn't look hard enough on Crunchyroll. But I've watched the first episode and half of the second, I think, but it's very much the dubbed version currently. And I prefer dubs. Subs.
Well,
Subs.
Subs.
But, yeah, subtitles. I prefer subtitles, but you have to focus, and I've built a life where I don't focus very well. I like to play a game and watch something at the same time, and
that's part of the reason. That is literally part of the reason why I don't like subs as much.
Yeah.
I just wish dubs were. They're getting better, but I wish they were better.
There's one that I need to give a try, but I've seen little clips of it. I think it's called Ghost Stories or something, where they didn't know what the actual script was, and they didn't have a translator to translate, so they just did whatever they wanted for the dubs.
Yes. Yeah. I saw some clips on TikTok, dude. That is It is something else.
I've seen a couple of clips, but I've never actually watched it, and I'm curious to see how much of a train wreck it is. But I've heard that people, they like it like they would like something like a Napoleon Dynamite or a Hot Rod. Like it's something you watch when you're tired or altered state of mind.
Elevated. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of like, a little different, but U.S. Power Rangers versus the original Japanese, where who knows what the heck the storyline was like in the original compared to what they did to it in the U.S.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, they took the fight scenes from a Japanese show, and everything else is they reshot it to make their own story. They stole the fight scenes from another show.
Not stole. I think Saban owned that. Show too.
Probably, but
yeah, I'm sure
repurposed.
Yeah,
there you go.
And for as long as it went on, it's it must have been done intentionally. But holy cow, it is just so different.
They're making a anime, an isekai, where the Red Ranger gets sent to another world and becomes an adventurer. I think it's coming out next year.
Not against it.
It looks like a Kai.
It could be good.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. The previews haven't shown like him having access to his Zord or anything, but he's got access to his other weapons and his armor and everything.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, on TV, I'm stoked that on Apple TV, Shrinking is back for season 2. And that show makes me very, very happy. I just love there's a ton of little.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
One-liners. It's Harrison Ford, Jason
Momoa?
No, How I Met Your Mother.
Segel.
Segel, thank you, Jason Segel. And I do not know the young actress's name, but she is fantastic in this. Harrison Ford,
and it's called Shrinking.
Yeah, Shrinking. And the premise is Jason Segel's the main character. His wife died, and I can't remember how, because the how wasn't important, but he was not coping with it well. And he is a psychiatrist. And so the whole first season is him trying to get his crap together for his daughter. And it's got, man, it's from Scrubs, the angry doctor's wife, the main wife. She was, yeah, she's in this. The neighbor from Married with Children, the second neighbor, not the first one, the actor there.
Ted McGinley?
Yeah. He
kills shows.
So maybe it's the other one, but he was one of the, because they swapped who played the neighbor halfway through.
Steve went off and did something.
It might have been Steve instead of Ted.
The dark-haired guy or the blonde guy?
I'm actually going to look up Shrinking on IMDb.
It's probably Ted McGinley. I don't even know if that other guy's alive.
It is. People, it is a little bit rated R. It's got a great heart to it, and there's just so many little lines. And I don't know how much Jason Segel wrote on this, because I do like his writing, but it's fantastic. Ted McGinley, Ted McGinley is he's awesome at it though.
Yeah, but you know what?
He's
He's responsible for killing so many shows. He was in the Happy Days Jump the Shark season.
No.
As Cousin Roger. Yep.
So the other thing that I'm actually enjoying right now, because I'm not quite in the market, but after buying 2 vehicles here recently, I've been hyper aware of the different vehicles on the road, looking at the different models, and I've started really doing some research on electric cars, and if I can get one on my next go round, which I hope I can, because they're starting to come down, and it's just been fun. It's been fun. I'm looking at this sounds so bougie. Joe's gonna call me the 1%er, but I was Googling it, and just so
you're the 1%er. You've got Google.
I'm not on DuckDuckGo like the pores. Here's another quote. I'm not on DuckDuckGo like the pores. But for a range of affordability in electric cars, you're looking at the economical end of brand new being about 50 to 60,000, and the higher, more standard end being about 100,000. And I'm not looking at the 100,000. I'm not even looking at the 50s. Like, I'm looking at used cars and see my right time, right place, something. Because I need it much lower. But just looking at stuff, right, to see what maybe will come down. Jaguar has an electric car, and it looks
What?
good. I know, right? That's why I'm 1%er, but it looks. I've never wanted a Jag in my life, but this crossover that they have, it looks mean, and it's electric, and it gets really good mileage, and it landed at like $70-something thousand, so right in the middle range of electric vehicles. For comparison, the Ford F-150 Lightning 2024 is about 80 grand. The Rivian is about 95. The Rivian RT1. So yeah. And the Teslas, the models that everybody knows of Tesla, those are about 80 grand, brand new.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun looking them up and seeing the mileage and seeing what the differences are and just kind of seeing what's out there.
Yeah.
I wonder if they've got a word. I'm sure they do, but you used to call it window shopping when you walked by all the displays and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So what would you call it? Just surfing the web for online? Like, we need a better term for it. I don't know. There may be one, but what's the term? They got a catchy term for shopping online, for window shopping, stuff that you may never or probably never will buy.
Carvana that.
False carding? You just put it in your
False
cart,
carding.
You're never going to check it out.
Right.
It's on layaway.
I've actually taken to we've talked about this before. I want them to sponsor the show. Love CarMax. Come on, CarMax. Wise and Nerdy, where Fatherhood meets CarMax for your best deals on good cars. Anyway, but their app flows so well. And so I'll just go on their app and just look up electric cars in a 250-mile radius. And if I like it, I'll take a screenshot and I have a special little photo folder. So I can always kind of go back and what was that model? And I can go look it up again if I want to.
You know what I did last time I was searching for a car was I went to Kelly Blue Book.
Yeah, I noticed
because they link into dealerships and whatnot. So,
Okay.
and not just one. You know, they're not beholden to one manufacturer. So,
yeah, I've never bought a new car, but I've been thinking about it on the electric side of things because used versus new, it's still in the same ballpark.
sure.
I'm nervous. I was nervous about, if you get that first model, but the last two vehicles I've driven were the first model of their kind in those particular years. Like the C-Max 2013 was the launch model. And that's what I'm driving now. The Honda before that was the launch model. So it's not as scary anymore to go, oh, things can go wrong that they didn't predict. But that's also why they put warranties on things. And so I might actually, if I get to a point where I have some decent money to put down on it, I might get a broker to try to get me a deal on a electric car. But then I got to really know what I want. So that's hard. Because you got to test drive it. And some of these new ones, like our friend Dennis, he has a Rivian and he pre-ordered his. And he did get to go at some point and drive it at the Rivian lot or whatever was scheduled near him.
But he was on the waiting list for like 3 years. I mean,
he was out for a while. Like the first model now is hitting CarMax. So it's about 3 years old.
Oh, okay.
2 to 3 years old, something like that. Even though technically he's still getting a first model, it's just a 2024 first model.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys do? You have to test drive your cars? Could you just go?
Yeah, I did. I always did because you got to feel it. You got to at least, and you're a bigger guy just in terms of height, if nothing else, right? So you got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And when I was buying cars, I was heavier, but I have to make sure that my legs feel good. I've rented enough cars where
Yeah.
my leg would bang up against the wall of the, in the driver's seat area and just like be uncomfortable. Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and there's definitely some that you have to take a look at because there's been a couple of different times where I've test driven a car and I could feel the transmission hiccuping or things like that. Because I always buy used. Granted, the used market is very different
Now,
in the last 4 years, but yeah,
thanks,
I have
COVID.
Yep.
but yeah,
What was the, because you used to get cars, and I want to say you used to in the last time I bought, so within the last 4 or 5 years, so I just paid off my car. I usually get a 4 to 5 year loan and try to pay it off a little early. Anyway, you could get on a very low small car budget car end used was $8,000 about 4 or 5 years ago, right before COVID. And now, because I just shopped for my wife and my daughter, we're just trying to find something that fit right that she could afford. So we're going cheap. You were lucky if you found something for 10.9. It's really like 11.9 to 12.9 at the lowest ranges.
Yep.
And I don't know if I've said it before in the show, but I normally flip my car at 100,000 miles because I've driven it. That's usually when I pay it off. It's about I get them about 30, 40,000.
You flip it for the insurance scam.
Yep.
Joe, you can't say that stuff on air because then I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, Joe, you should definitely take that back, Joe.
You ruin everything, Joe.
My bad. You take it to a deserted part of the highway and light it on fire. I mean,
I am totally going to crash into your car. But you see, Joe lets drunk people drive my cars, and we're going to have a talk about that next time, Joe.
I protested very much.
I saw you pick Travis Jones up and spin him, and Hugh is no Travis Jones, so you did not protest very much, sir. Anyway, yes, I got 100,000. I usually have my car paid off between 100 and 110,000, and it still got good value because I take care of it. So I'll trade it for something that has 30-ish thousand miles typically. Now I am at 170,000 miles because I mean, I've kept my car up, no major incidences. At 100,000, I did a full inspection and tune up and everything else. And I mean, that's a hybrid. It doesn't run in some of the same issues at that mileage that full gas engines do. But yeah, it doesn't.
Cars
feel
really
like
do last longer,
old.
though. In general, they're lasting
years.
longer.
And it is. I mean, it feels great. It's a good car. Nothing's going wrong with it. 24-year-old cars qualify for vintage tags. Next year, the year 2000 will be vintage cars. The year 2000.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about this. My Prius was a 2005, and I just got rid of it last year.
Was that a full electric Prius or a hybrid Prius?
No, it was a hybrid. And it had about 310,000 miles on it. Because every time something went wrong, it was like, I don't know, $1,000, let's say. But that was like it for the upkeep for the year. So like I'd go get my inspection and it was like, it's going to cost you like $700 this time or $1,000 this time. And I did the math and I couldn't justify nuking it. Like it didn't make any sense until it literally died. So.
Yeah. And 340 something thousand is what you said?
310.
310,000.
I think because there was a bug in the odometer where it wouldn't actually show over 299,999 miles.
He was having,
and it cost $400 to get the upgrade for the code, and I just said I'm not paying that. That's dumb. So
yeah.
The odometer was broken on my first car as well. So,
Didn't you think if you went backwards, you wouldn't get mileage?
No. No. I learned that doesn't work from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, of course.